Hello and welcome to the Spiritual View. I'm Jennifer Halliburton with the Awakened Gen Tarot, and I'm one of the hosts of the Spiritual View. The Spiritual View is a collective of 7 spiritually gifted women who are merging our magic together to bring messages of guidance for the collective. And we are so proud of the beautiful community that we are building here. And we invite you to be a part of the fun. So join us live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern and Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we also share daily videos of guidance for the collective. So just check us out. And we appreciate so much all of the support. All right. So today, I'm excited to share something truly magical that happened over the weekend. So, this weekend, I had the privilege of participating in an incredible intention setting ceremony with my shaman friend, Jen Huber. One of the most exhilarating parts of the whole thing was getting to stand inside of this giant sound bowl while she banged it. And I mean, you talk about getting into energetic alignment. So, I mean, it's just amazing. Like the feeling will last for days. So, the vibration completely syncs you up with the powerful intentions that you set for the new year. And so I've got some really big intentions that I'm setting for 2025. And so this is actually my second year doing the ceremony. And let me tell you, last year, I mean, my mind was just blown because nearly every single intention that I had set going into that ceremony came to fruition. And I mean, it came in super fast. Like by April, I was just like, oh my gosh, like you really worked. And so, of course, when I knew that I had the opportunity to do it again, I had to keep that tradition alive. And this time, I just wanted to share that incredible experience and the energy of it with you all. And so, like, the really cool thing is just you hearing the energy that's coming out from the sound bowl can have a profound impact on you as well. And so, just energetically. One of the collective intentions that had been set for this ceremony was for everyone that was there to release the lessons of the old while retaining the jewels of wisdom that they had gotten from those lessons. And so, like, you were just kind of letting the lessons just sink out through the bottom of the bowl while we just held on to all of the wisdom. And, like, everyone who was in that space got benefit from all of the collective energy. And so by you tuning in today and you hearing all of the vibrations that are coming out in this, you're also going to get the benefit of all of that powerful collective energy as well. And so just take a few moments to just really take in and think about, just the lessons that you learned from 2024. But you want to let go of the lesson because you don't need the lesson anymore, but you can hold on to the wisdom that was attained from going through the hard lesson. And so let's go ahead and dive in and harness this winter season's energy because we're kind of in that season of winter here in the US where it's time to kind of sit back and reflect and plan on where we want to go for this year ahead. And so before we get started too far into this, I want us to take 3 deep breaths together and do the invocation to call in the spirit team. So if you close your eyes and breathe in. That's 1. Breathe in. That's 2. Breathe in. That's 3. I now call in my angels, archangels, ascended masters, my higher self and guardian angels to please enter this present space and time. I call upon Archangel Michael to place a bubble of protection around us. Only beings of the highest vibration of pure love and light may enter in. So be it. All right. So, yeah, I've got something really fun to share. And again, just by you sitting here listening to it, you will get benefit out of it. And so, just to kind of set you up, and you can pause, and make sure that you're taking this in appropriately so that you can set your own intentions too, is one of the ways that we were using this is that we had to write out, what does our ideal day look like, as though we are actually living it in that first person present energy. And so we're writing it down. So what does it look like the minute that you wake up? What does that environment feel like? And I mean, just really fill in all of the pieces and really make sure that you're focusing on all of the different areas of your life that you know need improvement. Now, things that are working well, you know what you're doing. You just keep doing what you've already been doing, and it will continue to stay in that space, right? But if there's things that you want improvement on, then let's revisualize that story. So you know what it currently looks like, because that's what you manifested already. That's the past. That's the past that is showing you what you've already manifested. So what are we wanting to create in that future? What does that future vision look like? We've got to get it really clear, and we're getting it out on paper so that we can kind of set it all out. Okay, so the first part is putting it out, the vision here. Now let's draft it out. There's a physical part of just even writing it out. And then like when you listen to the vibration, then it's aligning you now. And so you just keep that vision in your mind as you're listening to it. And that's what's kind of aligning you to that reality, that timeline that you're saying that you're wanting to get to. And it's bringing in everything out of that whole bowl of wisdom. What are the things that you need out of that bowl that's going to help you be able to be the person that has the type of life that you're saying that you're wanting to bring in? All right, so now that I've set that up, I'm going to let you see the bowl. Okay, so here we go. So she was getting me all set up and kind of explaining the process. So it really is such a beautiful ceremony. And I mean, I knew that if she was offering it again, I am absolutely going to do it. And I don't know where you can find things like this around you. I'm definitely going to try to get her to set up some things like this in the space around me, just because of the power that I feel afterwards. I mean, it's literally for days. You're just kind of in that feeling. And I slept a lot this weekend just after that. So I think that there are a lot that does kind of come out, because if you're getting into alignment with this reality, this new reality that you're trying to manifest in, you've got to release this stuff that's not aligned with that reality. And I think that um, we take for granted the restorative energy that does come out in rest as well. All right, so I've actually pulled together a spread to do a reading to complement this and really see how we can take the lessons that we learned and start planning for our future. And I want to really integrate all of this and implement it out so that we don't have to keep relearning the lessons. And so I'm using 3 different decks today. I'm going to use the Sacred Forest deck, the Wise Dog Tarot, and the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Okay. So we're going to be starting with the Sacred Forest Oracle. And so what is the energy of this season that we're in right now? And so here in the US, we have just kind of went into the winter season. And so what energy does the winter season bring to support our intentions at this time? And so we have Earth Spirit stability. So it's helping to bring in the stability that we're looking for. It's helping to get the foundations in place before we really do take that first step. That first step is a solid one, and it's a stable step. So let's see what message accompanies this. So let's see, Earth Spirit. In the lazy quietude of a warm summer afternoon, you recline on the soft moss of the forest floor and listen to the heartbeat of the earth. Her rhythmic cadence surges up from the ground beneath you. With each beat, you remember who you are and what is truly important in life. The strengthening, grounding energy of the earth is filling every part of you. It's time to take a measure of your life and put your roots down. Assess who you are and where you are. Make plans for the future, but don't act on those plans until you feel secure in stepping forward. This is the time of preparation and going deeper. This card can also indicate that you aren't as grounded and you need to create more stability into your life. Think things through before you take action. Take time to plan your future carefully. Don't rush into anything. Strength is growing within you. Security and protection surround you. You are safe. If you are thinking of making secure financial investments and receive this card, it's telling you that this is a good time to do so. It's not a time to take risk. The earth spirit provides trees, plants, flowers, rivers, streams, oceans, mountains, and valleys, and supports us all with her bounty. She's stable and strong in her devotion to us. You're supported and loved, even if you're not always sure of it. The seeds that you plant now will bring abundance in the future, but only if you take the time to nurture those new beginnings. Be present in the moment, slow down, and let go of the busyness and frenetic pace of life. Explore your roots, honor your past, and go deep. Reflect on your life. And so, right now, I mean, you really need to get that foundation correct. You really need to get the plan hammered out very solidly before you take that first action. And so, while it feels like it feels like there's no progress, the progress is being made in the very tiny details that feel just like, I just don't like having to focus on this stuff. But this is the stuff that you only have to focus on it the one time. And if you get it set up right, you never have to think of it again. And it brings that future success that you're looking for. But these are the things that if you don't ever set them up now, it's really hard to go back after the fact and get this into place. I mean, this is the thing that will mess you up from getting to right here to possibly only getting to here and then having to start all over. And then it postpones you getting to that actual place that you're wanting to go. So, I mean, like, these steps are really important. It's really important that you're taking the time to look through all of the fine details. What is it actually going to take in order for me to be able to do the thing that I'm saying that I'm wanting to do? I have this big vision of what I want my life to look like, but what does it actually take? What type of discipline am I really willing, to incorporate into myself to be that person? Because if I was already that person, I'd already be living that life. My current life shows me who I've been. My future life is going to be showing me what choices I'm making today. And so, like, this is an important time. We've got to get these details correct, because there's little things, tiny little habits that have held up so long over time that's the thing that has really prevented you from reaching that full level of success that it is that you're saying that you're wanting to get to. Okay. So the next card I'm pulling with the Wise Dog Tarot, it's what is currently thriving in our life that we should continue to nurture what's already working well. And we have the moon. So I feel like, especially the people who watch this channel, we've done a lot of the shadow work. And so we kind of talked about this in some of our after meetings about how we do use the term do the work a lot. And it's kind of to the point that it's almost like, we're kind of beating a dead horse, right? Because we just say it so much, do the work, do the work. Well, I don't think that this group that we're talking to is actually afraid of doing the work. We've been there. We will look at those shadows and it's like we're still digging to see what else is in there. And it's almost like we're almost addicted to the point of doing the work that we're using that as a way to continue to procrastinate from moving forward, in our mission and moving forward and really getting out of the comfort zone. Okay, so we've identified, here's the thing that, the pattern that keeps us back, the pattern that where we continue to show up, this way, but we haven't actually made the shift. We haven't actually changed the behavior. And so I think that that's what we've done really well. We've done a lot of shadow work. We've brought a lot out into the open. A lot of that hidden stuff is now out in the open. But I don't think that we've done a great job about actually implementing. We've just intellectualized it. Okay, so what needs to be reevaluated or released to make room for the growth? And so we have the Emperor. And so it's just the control, just even feeling like that you can control. And so there's, we've brought a lot of things out into the open. And so now then it's coming back to the serenity prayer for me about, looking at this now that's all out for us to have to deal with. What are the things out of this are things that are in our control, and what are the things that are not in our control, and are we taking advantage of the things that are actually in our control? And so again, it's the serenity prayer, accepting what I've done lost it, but that's where I'm coming from with that. Is we're trying to control things that we can't control, but then we're not even taking advantage of the parts that we can. And so once we've come to the identification of here's the things that are holding us back, here's the patterns that we keep seeing repeat after repeat after repeat, that every time I try to take this step forward, this is what kind of keeps holding me back from doing that. We're not doing anything with the lesson. We're holding on to the lesson, but we're not implementing the lessons. Okay. The next card I'm pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and it is, how can we best nurture ourselves during this season to align with our goals? So how can we nurture ourselves to align with our goals? And we have a mindful group think, and that's also funny because Angie said this card has been coming out so much about the group think. And so it's all about just here, what are we telling ourselves? There is something about the stories that we tell ourselves, about the situations, about just even the sensations that we're feeling within us. Okay, the human mind can be so many things: a prison, a latrine, a circus, a temple, a cave. It can be a place of restriction or a place of never ending expansion. Right now, be careful of where you wander your mind. The quality of your thoughts is key. If you're in a fertile time for full manifestation, as you're in a fertile time for full manifestation, you want to ensure that the seeds you plant will sprout and flourish into the life that you seek to grow. Be mindful not to scatter weeds. It's easy to be influenced by others right now, too, especially in our digital age. It's hard to protect yourself from the energy and the sheer amount of information bombarding you 24/7. If you allow all of the fear of uncertainty to pollute your mind and emotions, you will fill yourself up with this negativity and then see more of it in the outer world. Stay out of gossip and other forms of groupthink, for when you cut another person down to their level due to their perceived mistakes or limit them by your envy, you activate your lack for yourself. So fill yourself with thoughts of plenty. Imagine your universe unfettered by scarcity and alive with abundant hope and goodness. Be mindful of what your mind is full of and keep the faith. Good brings more good, love, gratitude, more things to be grateful for. And so, I mean, it's just really being in control of the thoughts that you're allowing to take up the most space in your mind, because where your attention is, that's what you're going to keep seeing more of. And so the actionable step that we can take right now, what steps can we take to create a solid plan to achieve the intentions that we have so boldly set in this intention setting ceremony? So the action steps are, let's see, the Six of Pentacles. And so I've seen this heart mind cohesion message a lot. And so we've got to restore balance. And so there is, so I think one of the things that we really got to get kind of clear on is we've got to find a way to make money. Realistically, just the way that the world is still set up, we have to have a way to be able to pay our bills. And so we've got to be able to have something that provides resources that makes the world flow in the way that the 3D, the way that we've already passed, set this world up to flow. We have to have something that does that. But we know that as we were moving into this 5D space, that alone is not going to cut it. So we've got to have something that is aligned with our heart, our passion too. We've got to know that we're making a difference somehow. And that is how we're going to get, that shift where we're going to take it from where it's been in this energy for so long. That's how we're going to be able to get it up here. But this is where we've started. So we've still got to play in that game somehow. It still factors in. We can't just completely get away from it because this is where we're wanting to go, to this, 5D place of where money doesn't exist. Right now, that's not our reality. But, in order to even come to a balance of that, we've got to, start somewhere. So we've got to find something that, again, it helps to provide the resources. We've got to do something to help bring in the resources because we're still having to work with this energy, but we're trying to connect it to this energy. So it's connecting to the heart, the passion. It's got to be something that still makes a difference, makes me feel like I have purpose. And so that's the hardest part, is finding that space. And in that space, you will have to make concessions. So this right here is still not going to be perfect because our perfect is up here. So we've still got to make concessions. There's still going to be things here that we're going to have to do that may not be fully, but that's not the 5D vision. No, it's not yet. But is it closer? Is it getting us closer? Is it getting us closer? So that's the vision that you've got to be able to keep, is that as we're trying to shift this, we've still got to play the system where it's at right now. We can't just yank it here because it won't work. It'll all crumble. And so, yeah, that's the action steps, is like that's We've got to start making that balance. We've got to start connecting those dots, and it's going to be slow shifts, but it's moving us in that direction. Okay, so I'm going to close it out with our long-term vision is how can we stay connected to our vision while allowing it to grow naturally over time? And so we have the secret spring, and so the spring of success. And so I'm just connecting already because we've got all of the weather, not the weather, the seasons already being brought out. Is, there's a time and season for everything. And so there's a little bit of divine timing that's kind of already being mentioned in this, is that we do our part, and then we know that when the time is right, because when when it's time for the sun to come up, the sun is coming up. When it's time for spring to come, the spring will come. Can we force that to come any quicker just because we're ready for it now? We cannot, but we can do our part to make sure that we're ready. It's like when opportunity meets your training. It's like it's the divine timing of that. Okay, oops, let's see, that's 34. Okay, so secret spring success. You stand behind a thicket of ferns at the edge of a secret spring. Gazing across the still water, you see a boat silently gliding towards you, a glowing light hanging loosely from its bow. The fairy of the spring floats above the boat. Her wings are radiant and shimmering. She knows that you are there and smiles at you. It's said that anyone who sees the secret spring fairy on a starry night will be blessed with success beyond measure. All things are possible. The more you honor and celebrate the success that you already have, the more success pours into your life. And the more that you feel it, the more love, prosperity, fame, and fortune you will have. Act as if and feel as if, and you are wildly successful, and even more success will develop. Accept that you are already thriving. You are, and the more victories will emerge. If a situation seems to knock you down, get up and take a moment to explore what you learned and then keep going. In Celtic tradition, secret springs were magical. Water was the source of life, and in their legend, mystical beings would emerge out of the springs and later return through them. Fairy queens and mythic heroes were said to have emerged from the springs, and these sacred well springs were a place to commune with the divine. Good fortune blessed those who honored the spirit of the secret spring. Success is flowing into your life. Vitality and a glowing, youthful renewal of your body are occurring. Now is the time to take action in support of your dreams. There is no need to struggle. The universe has your back. And so, just knowing, and it's just knowing the difference. The greatest form of manifestation is knowing. The least effective form is hoping. And so just having that solid assurance, the success is coming. What you have put out for, what you have intended is on the way. So once you know that, it really does shift your mindset of the way that you show up. You're no longer like, oh, just, is it ever going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's on the way. It's just like, it's getting through customs, just whatever it's taking, it's getting into alignment. And so just even going back to the visual of me in that bowl, and just knowing that vibration, it was getting everything into alignment. Everything just has to line up just perfectly, because the me that I was in this moment was not ready to be the me that I am, that I'm saying, that I'm wanting for this moment. And so I've got to get, the physical aligned with that, ethereal, that is where all of my manifestations are, so that I can get them to, now merge together and to come out into my physical reality. And so we're just, that's what we're doing now. We're getting our aligning to our success. We're in the alignment of the success, but we've got to be that solid sure that we know that it's going to happen, or else we are aligning to the lack of the success. All right, so closing us out with the Art of Manifestation Oracle. What can we do to help bring our manifestations in? We have to have and to hold. Healthy relationships are formed through love rather than need. It is such a human thing to hold on to others through fear and insecurity, but this dynamic can stifle a relationship's potential to flourish and to actually push someone away. Give your relationship the freedom it needs to form a healthy foundation of trust. And so I'm just going back to, it's coming back to the healthy foundation, and it's not holding on to things just for the sake of holding on to them. It's just really getting clear. And that's something, a message that I heard a lot come out in the live that we did for Monday, was we're really assessing, just what we have before us right now, what's working, what's not working. We're clearing out the space so that we can make room for the new, because right now there's no room for anything else to come in. So we're sitting here saying, I want this other type of life, I want this other type of thing, and there's no room for it to even be here if it were to show up. So let's make the room. Let's get ready for it. Let's make the space. Let's be prepared so that those manifestations can come, because that's acting as if right there, that's acting as if it's coming when you're actually actively preparing for it. So we're letting go of the things that are in its way so that we can actually, put out the message to the universe. Yeah, I want this. I'm ready for it. It's time to bring it in. All right, I'm closing it out there. I hope you guys have found value out of this. And if you did, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like. You can comment, subscribe, and that helps tell the algorithm to keep pushing this out to more people. It helps to grow our channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Remember to check out all of the other videos that we have going on here. We have a lot of talent on this channel, and then come back together with us on Fridays and Mondays, where we do get to spend time with our viewers, interacting with you guys, pulling cards for the viewers, and just, it's always just a good time of just connection and community, which is what we are, striving to, do here on this channel. All right. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.